everybody. Beacon Star Thursdays, and I got my t-shirt back. Thank you, K-Pro. K-Pro's at a bar in Denver, scouting out the no, she's not in Denver. She's at an undisclosed location, so she may cut in and out a little bit. I'm not sure. Say hi to everybody, K-Pro.
Going to be muted, but I have things to say. There's so many exciting things. Beacon Star, Xavier Marks, there's stuff happening with First End. I have a huge car vote for Monday. We're not talking about that. Beacon Star, go baby. I'm going to be in chat a lot more than I normally am because I have to meet here and I want to talk to you people.
Okay. Yeah, it's the video's bad and it's cutting out and it's not good. Yeah. We didn't even hear that, whatever you said. All right. So why am I seeing 2008 notification? So, okay, Christy, you commented on a post from 2018. Did you know that? Yeah, with the one
2018, and I didn't know why, and I was like, I see the content, and you're like, what? And I'm like, so I don't. That my computer is ready to blow up. I need a new one. I need a new. I'm sorry, I don't know.
So what happened is there's a post when I first created the Grand Adventure group on Facebook. It's a post that says welcome to the Grand. Like I first created it in 2018, and K-Pro today commented on it, and now I think everybody that was in there is seeing an update.
Weird. There was 3 of them. It's like I think it was really cute. You had one that said, "I think I'm going to make my first video." It came up on my. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's just the way Facebook works. It reminds you of a lot of things, whether you want to be reminded of them or not. Oh, Ellie says there's a bug in a bunch of groups, so maybe Elon Musk will buy Facebook as well. Nah, probably not. No, Hooli, we're not talking about Forrest Fenn tonight. K-Pro, if you want to respond in the chat, you can. But this hour is going to be about the Beacon Star. Although I will say, Packer Jack, that Ranger Jack was pretty funny. That was pretty good. That made me laugh. You guys should clip just that part and then post it everywhere as like an intro or whatever as an advertisement for the show because that was pretty funny. I don't know if his name's Ranger Jack or Ranger Dick. I thought Copper Dan called him Ranger Dick, but anyway, yeah, it was pretty good. Okay, that one plus a bunch of old. All right, well, I don't know why that's happening. I didn't do anything in Facebook, so that's kind of crazy. But yeah, tune in for Forrest Fenn Treasure Found on Monday because there are a lot of updates. K-Pro will have another PowerPoint. There's people racing to Yellowstone. It's crazy. Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, we will see. We'll see how the motion goes.
I will say Yellowstone has a ton of weather coming in. I hear it's snowing right now. So I don't think anyone should be heading to Yellowstone. So let's move on though. We're talking Beacon Star. Cut it out.
Cut it out or K-Pro will put you in the corner. K-Pro's corner, which she should probably go live maybe tomorrow or over the weekend, and you could discuss all this stuff with her. Okay, let's get back to Beacon Star. Beacon Star. Randy created the Beacon Star. It's not found. Okay, that should be like an intro song, but all right. All right, people texting me. Okay, so now thank you to Treasure Hunt Cache. I don't know if they're here, if they're in the room. But last Beacon Star show a week ago, Treasure Hunt Cache said, I know what that location is. You guys have it wrong. And once you figure it out, it is obvious. And he was correct. It is obvious. It's very obvious once you know what it was. We were thinking street names in Denver, and it is not. Those street names are actually in a park. And we found it, and we're going to show it tonight live. And so hopefully, and also in conjunction with that correct location, hopefully we have the rest right, the rest correct. I want to go through all 10 locations and see if we can get a consensus that we have the right location, but also the right text, right? You got to have both. And now that we have Randy's video on how to read that text, I'm hoping we can come up with something. Now we still have to figure out the key, but that's the separate part. First thing is to get the locations. On Randy's hint video, he said, first, boots on the ground. And what does that mean? That means you got to have the right locations. You got to have the right text. Get that from the boots on the ground. So let's work on that tonight together. It's not like I had anything prepared. We're just going to work our way through it as we do sometimes. Okay. And yes, I had to bump the show because I'm supposed to go to the gym tonight, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But I've lost some weight. How am I looking, everybody? I've lost a little bit of weight. Okay. Started eating a little bit better. Okay. So page 12. Page 12 is the first poem, and I'd say this is probably the easiest one. Randy probably did that on purpose. Let's look at it. And K-Pro, you can be the decider here. You tell me if these make sense or not, okay? So this is page 12, poem. Should odd acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind, look this acquaintance in the eye. On the second step, you'll find. Well, odd, A-U-L-D, I don't even know what that means, but what song do you think of when you hear odd? Do you know what it is, K-Pro?
Idea, Mike.
What's that?
No idea, Mike.
Oh,
no idea.
Old Lang Syne. Should odd acquaintance, whatever that New Year's Eve song is, Old Lang Syne. I don't even know what those words mean. Who came up with this? So how does that? What does that mean? How does that work? If that's who it's talking about. Well, it's talking about Robert Burns. Robert Burns is the author of that song, Old Lang Syne, and New Year's Eve song everybody sings. And this is his statue in City Park. So our first statue is in City Park. And the confirmer, right? The confirmer, let me get this. Hang on a minute. The confirmer is that he even says, hey, I'm live, guys. Keep it down. He even says, it's going to be a little discombobulated here, guys. Hang on. He even says on the second. Yeah, I know. I'm going to have K-Pro do a PowerPoint one of these days. When I know they're right, maybe then we do a PowerPoint. The PowerPoint would help us figure out how to read it and number it. So we will do that in the future show, K-Pro.
This first one is like a slam dunk. It's different.
Yeah. On the second step you find is really the confirm.
Yeah. So out of a scale 1 to 10, this one's a 10 to you, right?
So second step. Yeah, this is it. This is a 10. 10. That's right. Robert Burns wrote the song. This is the second step. Here is the quote. But here's the deal. We got to really write the punctuation and everything down correctly to make sure we got it. So let me make sure I got this right. A poet, peasant, born, period. Anybody notice it's weird? There's beginning quotation marks, but no ending quotation marks, at least that I see. But anyway, I don't think quotation marks matter. I don't see any ending quotation marks. Do you guys? Maybe there's a better picture than this because this one's a little grainy when you zoom in. But a poet, peasant, born, period. Who more of fame's immortal, is that power or dower? I'm assuming it's a P, but it doesn't look like a P, does it? Who more of fame's immortal power unto his country brings then all her kings. Oh, maybe it is dower. Who, like a dowry? Is dower a word? Let's look up dower, K-Pro. D-O-W-E-R. So it doesn't look like a dower. A widow share for life of her husband's estate. A poet, peasant born, who more of fame's. No, it's got to be power. It is dower, Beefaghetti? Okay. Who more of fame's immortal power unto his country brings than all her kings. Okay. If only somebody could go take pictures of all these. Actually, thank you to those who have been to some of the locations and sent me the pictures of the sundials and stuff. This one I'm pretty sure is a Google image, somebody found. All right. I just want to make sure we got this one right. This is the easy one, but I want to make sure the wording is right.
How many are there total?
10. There's 10 total.
So 1 out of 10, we know this one is 100%.
That's right. This is in City Park.
Okay. Keep going.
A poet, peasant born. Oh, it's from a poem about Robert Burns. Okay. Thank you, Beefaghetti. A poet, peasant born, who more of fame's immortal dower unto his country brings than all her kings, period. Okay, we got it. So City Park near Duck Lake, Robert Burns statue, second step, slam dunk, right? See how easy it is, K-Pro? Why hasn't it been solved? I don't know. All right. Well, then then they get a little more complicated. So the next one is page 20. And page 20, I don't know about this one, guys. Let's see. Page 20 is a little bit long. Junior was passionate about the things he dreamt. Senior was reaping what he sowed. One was very vocal and said the things he meant. One touched many people as he bowed. Is it bowed or is it bowed? Well, that comes into play. With your back towards the mountains, where their paths did cross, read between the names and in the notes. Greatness comes in many forms, and sometimes it's our loss. So heed the words surrounded by the quotes. There's a lot happening on that one. Hey, okay, bro. Who do we have for this one? We have, see, so this one, This one is in a park, and it's like a half of a cello or a bass or something. It's like half of a, there's the notes. It's just a bad picture because when I zoom in, it's George Morrison. Apparently, he was a violin player. And if we zoom into the inscription is here. And if we go back to the poem, it does say greatness comes in many forms, and sometimes it's our loss. Read between the names and in the notes. Read between the names and in the notes. So there's notes, there's a name. I should only pass this way but once. I'll do the best I can by being a useful servant to my fellow man. So the question is this one correct? I'm a little iffy on this one just because I can't see. I'll search on Google Maps. I think this is right. Heed the words surrounded by quotes. So these are in quotes. That fits. Junior was passionate. Things he read.
What's the rest of the clue? Not this.
Yeah. So this one, Junior was passionate about the things he dreamt was Martin Luther King. I have a dream. Senior was reaping what he sowed. I don't know if that's MLK Senior or not. One was very vocal and said the things he meant. One touched many people as he bowed. So I think the senior is this George Morrison Senior. Bowed is a instrument with a bow. He was a musician. You're back toward the mountains where their paths did cross. Read between the names and in the notes. Greatness comes. So this one, basically, I need to look up, get on Google Earth and find some other angles to find out.
But it seems to fit. Anybody say this is not it? But you don't put it.
Because I can't see. This is George Morrison. He's got a violin right there. And this is actually half a violin. That's what this is. This statue is a violin. There's notes. This is I'm assuming this is the quote, but I got to get a better picture than this. So we're going to have to come back to this one. Okay. This looks like it could be it, but if anybody out there has got a better, B. Faghetti says Randy confirmed this location. Okay. I just want a better picture though, because I don't like not being able to zoom in and read this clearly. So this one's confirmed, B. Faghetti says, and confirmed. We're going to put 6 exclamation points on it, but I want to get some better pictures. And also, what park is that in, guys? Where is this? George Morrison, is it? What park's it in? Because I'm going to start making notes.
A park in Denver.
Yes, a park in Denver. That's correct. Treasure Hunt Cash says one. There he is. Treasure Hunt Cash gets the credit for the location that we never could get. Let me do this. Let me do this. We're going to save it right here. Page 12. Nope. We're on page 20. George Morrison. Oh, that makes sense, huh? George Morrison Senior Park. Okay. And I'm doing notes to make sure all the verbiage is correct because once we try and read these. And if we ever do go to Denver, we got to visit all these spots, right, K-Pro?
Of course.
Can you do all these in a day, guys? I mean, how big is Denver? I guess you probably could, but there's 10 locations with these quotes.
Depends on where the locations are.
Right. Okay, I guess B. Faghetti gets that credit. All right. Okay, let me save this one.
So we're 2 out of 10, and we're 100% on the first 2. Go.
That's right. Good start. Now we go to page 28, right? Page 28. What's going on page 20? I don't have these memorized, so I'm like, what is it? Oh, yeah, this one's confirmed, too. Boop. There we go. Columbus ever pointing, but which way to go? Down the beaten warpath and the Bronca Busta show. If you reach the halls of knowledge, then you've gone too far. Return back to the arches where the pillars are. Across the promenade, 2 kings exchange a stare. Words are written twice, but only read once there. And there's a lot of pictures of this. Let's do it this way. People have sent me a lot of pictures, so thank you. Boop. Let's go through it. So this is the actual quote. There are 2 lions that stare across each other, and I guess this is on both. And it says words are written twice, but only read once there. This is it. But if we go through, this is the Bronco Busta show. Bronco Busta show. Bronco Buster. So it gives you landmarks to tell you're in the right spot, basically. On the war trail. Let's see. Yep, the beaten war path and the Bronco. Yep, this is the same park. What park is this, by the way, guys? Because I do not know. This is the Columbus. I hear the Columbus statue is gone, right? I hear they tore it down, but it used to be there. And Randy had to make a video because we were like, hey, one of your landmarks is gone. He says it doesn't change it because this was not the text we use. I do remember that video. What park is this, guys? The Detroit Lions in Denver. Civic Center Park. Thank you, B. Spaghetti. Civic Center Park. And that's that one. And that is the quote, correct? This one's pretty much, but see, there's a P, and we'll have to go through how he said to read it. You know what I mean? When there's a letter of an initial of a name, is that one? Is that two? I don't remember offhand.
I will type up each of these and get down to words and highlighting and all.
Okay.
If anybody has been out for 127 years, give it to me and I will put it in the PowerPoint.
Civic Center Park. Okay. So you look for a PowerPoint soon, guys. Beacon Star Thursdays. You know, K-Pro works that PowerPoint. She works it. So we'll have a PowerPoint to be able to figure out how to count these, I'm hoping is what happens. Okay, so that's page 28. We're just zipping along here. Randy, let's figure it out. Everyone should take notes, then go get their own plaque text that we can compare and discuss. That's right, because if we're just off by one word, it's going to throw everything off. At least we think that's how it's going to work, right? Okay, from page 12 to 20 to 28, then we go to page 36. Oh, and this is the one. Thank you to Beef Spaghetti and Treasure Hunt Cash. It's breaking news on this show anyway. Pretty clever. I think Randy did this on purpose. He said, I don't know why people are having a problem. Liar. You know exactly why, because you put street names and people thought it was the actual streets we were supposed to go across. So across Sims and Kipling, Carr and Allison, Wadsworth, and then Sheridan near Beer and Water, Cars and Bend. A lot of people took these streets to Coors Park thinking that was it. A pretty place is where you'll end. The place where this one calls home, but back up and telephone. And right there happens to be a telephone that was on a submarine, a big plaque. And we thought that was it, but it's not. Where it is in Belmar Park. And I do have some pictures. Show you guys where it is. Breaking news on the Beacon Star. I mean, maybe a lot of people had this and just didn't share it, but this is the first time I got it. So thank you guys for sharing it. Treasure Hunt Cash, Beef Spaghetti, and whoever else. So you see these street names are in this park. I think K-Pro froze up. Yeah. So across Kipling, you're walking.
Sorry, something happened.
Yeah, we couldn't hear you at all. We heard a bunch of singing. The draft is on, right? The NFL draft is probably what they're watching. It's right over here in Vegas.
They're booing. They're not. They're booing.
Draft. All right, K-Pro, just stay muted. Okay. It's just bad. It's a lot of noise. That's all. Nothing personal. Cross Sims and Kipling, Carr and Allison, Wadsworth, and then Sheridan. Those are all names in the park. Near Beer and Water, and right here it says near beer sold here, no beer sold here, near here. Get it? Near beer sold here, no beer sold near here. Okay, I guess it's a joke thing. A pretty place is where you'll end.
It's 100, right? This is 100.
Yeah, this is 100%. Yes, a pretty place is where you'll end. This place where this one calls home, but back up and telephone. I can't really read what that says, but this is the telephone right here, and this is the actual plaque that we're looking for. Boom. This is it right here. It's a little bit hard to read, but you can look it up online. Jeep Girl Jody says suspicious, but it fits. Everything fits, Jody. So this is Belmar Park. I was expecting you to know that. It says a pretty place is where you'll end. Well, I guess that could be, it's off of one of the inscriptions. It's not like a pretty visual place, I guess. The place where this one calls home, but back up and telephone. But who knows about the text? Yeah, I need somebody to go there. Let's do some boots on the ground. Actually, that's right. James did email me. Hang on, everybody. Let me see if he sent something that makes it a little bit clearer to read. It was just before we went live. He sent me pictures, which I think he found online, but that's okay. Still counts. Telephone poem. Right. Yeah, it's in bad shape, but we can read it. This is the actual inscription right here. So a pretty place, right? Oh, wait. No, that's actually not it. Pretty place is where you'll end. Hang on. Hang on, everybody. It's a live show. I know. Let me go through and make sure I got them all. This is the actual inscription, and this one's pretty good shot of it. So basically, it says the telephone. I don't know if I can zoom in. The telephone made the blah blah blah. So yeah, we're gonna have to get that text down for sure. It says the telephone makes the duties lighter, the cares less, and the worries fewer. The telephone preserves your health, prolongs your life, and protects your home. You need a telephone in your home. Ad for the Colorado Telephone Company, Colorado transcript, 1906. So let's take that info and let's go back to Randy's poem, because I thought Randy said the poems tell you what the text is. In other words, the poems are supposed to tell you what text you read. A pretty place is where you'll end, the place where this one calls home, but back up and telephone. Well, I guess it's the whole thing then. His poem doesn't really narrow it down, does it? So if anybody can travel there and kind of walk through it step by step to make sure that's right. Yeah, good job. Ramble equals Belmar. That's the name of the park, right? What is it? Ramble. Okay. Oh, Ramble. It's an anagram. Oh, I get it. That's actually pretty cool. Good job, Beef Spaghetti. That's why Randy kept saying Ramble. I see. There's a method to the madness, I guess. Okay. Thank you to James for sending me that picture. So we've got that one down. We just have to get the text, but we will. And K-Pro will get that in the PowerPoint. Right, K-Pro?
3 out of 3. Let's see how many more we have.
4 out of 4, actually. Wait. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that was 4. That was number 4. Okay. Page 44. Now, this one, actually, I don't have this in my notes. I'm pretty sure we figured it out, but I obviously didn't get a picture, or somebody didn't send me a picture, I should say. So let's see what this guy is. And that's this one right here. Page, as you can see, page 44. I got nothing. Let me close this. Page 44. Let me close these down. Of the many things you'll climb, mountains, stairs, and history, on the crumbling stones you'll find the beginnings of a mystery. From Mummy Ridge to Pikes Peak, many things were written fast. But in time's shadow is where to sneak to read this clue's explosive past. And I remember we talked about this. This is a park that was blown up, and I believe it's the sundial. Time's shadow is where to sneak. There's an inscription on the sundial. I just don't remember what park it's in. Anybody out there? You remember what park this one's located in? Yeah, Beefaghetti's got it. Email me some if you can, Beefaghetti. And I remember we talked about this. This is probably 2 years ago. Yeah, what's the park that it's in? Cranmer Park. Okay. Thank you. So this one, once you look up Cranmer Park, I think it's pretty obvious. I just didn't have it in my notes. Cranmer Park. Page 44. And it's a sundial, right? How many hours spent so far on this by the average searcher? Zozo, those guys that are there, those guys that live there in Denver, how many hours have you spent on this so far, would you say? Because there's 22 boots on the ground locations, right?
Mike, how many hours spent just analyzing?
And it's been a lot. I mean, more than 24 over the last couple of years. I mean, definitely. That is interesting. I've never thought.
Are you kidding? You put in probably several hundred hours. No doubt.
I never thought to keep track. That's why that prize and that gold coin will be oh so sweet once one of us figures it out, right? Cranmer Park. Okay. And we know that's right. Sorry, I got the video game crew. Okay. Boom. Okay, so that's page 44, Cranmer Park. I just got to look up the sundial and get the actual inscription. Everybody. Page 50. Page 50. Beneath the dome of gold do go, then head downstairs long and steep, to the obelisk below where 5 seals we do keep. The first 8 you'll read, and then take a knee and shed a tear, dedicated to great men whose memories do linger here. Yeah, Tony, there's 22 total parks. And this one, let me see what we got. This one's the obelisk. Oh, that's a great picture. Yeah, I gotta get new pictures on this because I can't even read that when I zoom in. This is it, right, guys? What park is this one? You can Google it. Yeah, I'll Google it for sure. What park is this? This is not the Yavi, whatever it is, park, is it? About the Holocaust? I think that's a different one, right? Hello, is this on? Anybody?
I'm trying to keep muted because it's loud. There's booze and then there's people clapping. Oh, it is the draft.
Yeah, it's the draft.
Okay. So it's a little loud here. Little loud.
I got you. Lincoln Memorial Park, right next to Civic Center. All right, thank you, and I'll definitely get the some pictures. Lincoln Memorial Park, right next to Civic Center. Let's open up Notepad on this one. Wonder if Randy thought, why haven't they figured this out yet? Like, it's not that hard. Probably for the people that are there, for the people who can actually go boots on the ground and know Denver. I wonder if he's like, it's not that hard. Now, hang on. Is it Lincoln?
I disagree. He said, I don't like these, or I didn't make a popcorn hunt. I put something out there that's going to take a lot of time. He did that intentionally, and he's super smart.
Oh, I just meant this part of it. I don't mean the beacon star was just take quite a while. Gotta mute, honey.
I made my comments.
All right, thank you. Now, is it Civic Center Plaza, Armed Forces Obelisk, or is it the Lincoln Memorial Park right next to Civic Center? It's Lincoln Memorial Park. Okay, well, I'll look it up either way. Armed Forces Obelisk. Thank you, Jeep Girl Jody. Thank you, Treasure Hunt Cash. Thank you, Beef Spaghetti.
Beef Spaghetti and Treasure Hunt Cash agree, so I just say we go with it because they seem to know this.
That's page 50. So I'm hoping by next show, maybe not by next show, but the show after that, we could have all these in a PowerPoint, though actual wording, and we'll go through trying to read it a little bit. What if we actually cracked it on air? Wouldn't that be fun? I wonder what the message is, or does it just lead to another? It's a park right next to Civic Center that has homeless rats. Okay. Treasure hunts are not supposed to be easy. That's true. That's very true. Who knows how to drive downtown? Yeah, I've never been to Denver. I've been to the airport, but that was just a layover. Oh, sad horn. All right, that takes us to page 56, K-Pro. I know you're excited. All right, here we go. There we do this.
56, woohoo!
There you go. That's the right level of enthusiasm, I would say. Cityscapes and mountainscapes, although he misspelled it, right? Cityscapes and mountainscapes, rivers and the trails, winding paths and hillsides, a compass with no tails. In sun or shade, you can sit and watch people going by. The river's edge and the city's edge spread open to the sky. All of this and more sits at the serpent's end. Serpent, he misspelled too. The bigger of the two is where I want this one to end. And I remember this one because it's pretty obvious once you find it. The serpent, the bigger end. And that's this one. I think this was shared on Mysterious Writings. This is one of the original ones. This is an aerial view of the park. So you see how it's a serpent walkway right here, K-Pro? And he said the bigger one is where I want this to end, right? So over here, there's an inscription right here. Which park is this one in, guys? And actually, I probably have it in my other notes, but I'm just kind of winging this right here. Give me a second. And I don't actually have that inscription. So I got to get, I mean, I do, but it's in a different, I have that spreadsheet that has them all. But I need to verify they're all right. Because so obviously somebody's doing something wrong or nobody's figured out what the key is from page 49. Common Ground Park, Mike N says. Is that in Common Ground Park, guys? The river's edge and the city's edge spread open to the sky. All of this and more sits at the serpent's end. The bigger of the two is where I want this one to end. Common Ground Park. Oh, let's look it up. Should be pretty simple, right? Common Ground Park. Denver. Images. Yes, that is in fact Common Ground Park. So Jeep Girl Judy says, I think it means the same place, but a different place. Now the question is the plaque. Now if it is Common Ground Park and we have the serpent with the opened end, what's the plaque? Because I actually don't have that in this one written down either. Common Ground Park in Denver. Let me set one up for this guy.
For as much as you've been working on this, that you don't have all this written down, you're crazy.
Yeah, I was not really good at organizational notes back in the beginning. That's for sure, as I find out. I have it. They're just scattered everywhere. So, and on this flash drive. So I'm trying to consolidate them all. So it'll be easier for you to put it in a PowerPoint.
His secret flash drive, guys. You guys could break in and get all of his notes and secrets.
Don't we all have that, guys? Don't we all have our treasure hunt flash drive with all the different treasure hunt notes on it? I do. And I'll tell you a little story. When Chris was about 2 years old, he took my flash drive out of the computer. And that flash drive back then, I had my work notes on it, treasure hunt notes. I mean, everything. This is way back. And I'm like, one day I come here and it's gone. And I'm like, Chris, come here. I go, hey, there's a little black thing, trying not to freak out. I'm like, hey, do you remember where that was? And he's like, no. And I'm like, well, you had to take it. And he's like, no, he didn't really say much. And then 2 days later, he comes walking up with, here's the flash drive, Dad. I found it. He had put it in his toy box. So, because he probably thought it was like a Lego.
At least you didn't put it in the toilet.
Yeah, right. All the Forrest Fenn notes were on it from back then, too. So I was like, I got it back. It was a couple days later.
You did try the wheel. You were so wrong. It wouldn't have mattered. Burn it.
This was way before Try the Wheel. This was way back when Chase Chat was the only thing around. This was way back.
It would have been like 10 years. If he was 2, he turned what? 11.
Yeah, this was 8 years ago. 8 to 9 years ago. So, yeah, anyway, I got it back. Do the missing letters get anagrammed into a hint at some point? Good job. That's a good thought, Tony. We don't know what the missing or the misspelled words mean yet. Even on the back of the Beacon Star book, when you solve this, which is pretty simple, all you do is you take these numbers and you count the letters. It's misspelled. So he's doing it on purpose for some reason. It's just another puzzle. Randy and his puzzles. Common Ground Park.
Yeah. I don't know. Let's just keep on. We're going to do this systematically. We're going to go through this tonight. I'm going to make a PowerPoint. Then we're going to verify all the words. Then we're going to do the words part. Then we're going to page 49. We're going to destroy you this year, Randy. That's your real name, Valentine Boots.
So if anybody wants to email me any of these plaques, I know you guys have already done the work. And like I say, I have it in my notes. I'm looking for a clearer picture, but I'll find them on Google Earth for sure. So page 56, Cranmer Park, the serpent, bigger end of that. Okay. But Jeep Girl Jody, if you think it's something else, email it to me. I'd be interested. If you want to share it, I'd be interested to know what you think it is if it's not that one. And then we go to the Bobby R one. This one's pretty simple to know it's correct. And you'll see real quick why, K-Pro. Remember horrors, if you can, of the worst deeds done by man. Walk the star with weary feet, so past mistakes do not repeat. Bury deep a tribute lies, but only dig there with your eyes. This is a memorial to the Holocaust in Bobby R Park in Denver. So it's a big, shaped like a David star. You know what I mean? So you know this one's right. There's really no question that this is correct.
So we're on number 5 or 6.
This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is number 8. We only have 2 left.
So right now, you believe you are 8 out of 8, and the room seems to be on the same spots as you. 8 out of 8, correct?
Yes. Yes. The one that Treasure Hunt Cast gave last week was the big one because now we have all 10. Now it becomes getting the right verbiage or getting the right words of the text and then trying to count it like Randy says in his video, but also trying to understand what the page 49 means when it says this is the key. It may just be simple as the order you place the order you put these things in, but we're gonna have to play around with that. That's gonna be the trick, isn't it? And that's the trick that people have been playing with for a while. That was page 62. Okay. Okay. Page 62. I thought Randy confirmed everything except Belmar and Platte River. I'd have to go through his video again. I know there was one that he said I don't know if there were two that he did not confirm. Should talk about Baby Arts in the Ukraine. Yeah, they're having some issues over there. Page 68.
Yeah, we need to do that. If we have Randy confirmed, then we're good. Like there's no.
Yeah, well, he made that video. Yeah.
Okay, I don't know that. Yeah. What video? What do you mean?
He made a video where basically he went over what everybody had publicly posted, including us in videos. He went over a video himself and confirmed that, yeah, this is known. This is known. He gave us little hints on things that people have not found yet. So that was a good video. He must have hit a milestone. Is this the one you're talking about? Beefaghetti? Once horses and oxen traveled this trail, now covered with tarmac and fences and rail. It's old and forgotten and covered with dust, surrounded by commerce and buildings and rust. Between Death and Denver, this monument stands, but just read it, between the two narrow bands. And we had come up with the Platte River Trail. That's right. Again, can somebody say, because the two narrow bands are a good one.
Can you check your text real quick?
Yeah.
But keep going.
Yeah, no problem. That's not part of our show, honey. All right, hang on. Okay. So we think this one's right. The Platte River Trail Monument, yes. But somebody may have a different location or a better location. Again, I've got to look this one up. What is it? Platte River Park? Is that what this is? Where this is located? Since it's called the Platte River Trail. Does anybody know what the park is? Where this one's called? Where this one's located? And this is page 68. Treasure Hunt Cash says, yeah, it's not in a park. Oh, okay. It's not in a park. I get it. Platte River Trail Monument. So it must be on a trail. Got it. Okay. Save it. Okay. Well, then we're just cruising along, aren't we, guys? York Street and Brighton Boulevard. Okay. Randy showed a pic of it. So hey, Davo. So we know that that's right. Okay. And then we come to the last one, K-Pro. Just the last one. That's all. This one, I think, pretty clear. I think this one was pretty clear. A famous place that needs no clue. Just go there like you always do. On the ground in front of 3, take your pen and bend a knee. Then take a walk, enjoy the best, where many men were laid to rest. And what do we have for that one? Oh, Cheeseman. That's right. That is Cheeseman Park. And this is the plaque right here. So that's a lot of words, huh? If we're supposed to take all of this, which I'm assuming we are, that's a lot of words. So this has all got to go in the PowerPoint, K-Pro. You up for that? And I'll type it out for you. So
sir, yes, sir. No, you don't need to. Either way, whatever you want to do. You just need to get it pretty and perfect, and then I'll share it on Thor so other people can have it too.
Okay. Yes, Cheeseman Park. That is correct. And those are what we believe to be the 10 locations. Now the question is, what do we do with this?
Okay, so everybody's had the 10 locations, it seems, for a while, at least 9 of them. So what's our plan here for?
Well, now it becomes, what do you do? So you get all that text, and then what do you do? Well, the hint video that Randy dropped says, first boots on the ground. What's that?
Count. It seems like his video said you need to count, and you need to count right.
But first, his hit video said boots on the ground first, then page 49. And page 49 is the Fibonacci numbers. And what I think that is you have to order these poems in a certain way. Go ahead.
See, I took the Fibonacci numbers is going to be how to count, to use
the order.
The order of the poem? I thought. Okay.
Yes, the order of the poem. Because if you look, each poem has got a number at the top that is a Fibonacci number. Okay.
Show that.
First. Oh, yeah, that would help. Boop. Each poem has got a number at the top that is a Fibonacci number. Okay. So I'm wondering if this is the order we put this text in. The text that we find at each location, this is the order you put it in. Okay. That's the first thought. That's probably the easiest thought. Yes, Treasure Hunt Cash. That's my initial thought. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. But then But then don't we come into the problem where don't we have a number that is too high for the number of words that are in these plaques, or do we not? That's the next question. Let me go to my other thing. We got that done. Give me a second. Give me a second.
If you had it in a PowerPoint, you wouldn't have to worry about that.
Yeah, I know. I got to get organized. That's true. Again, I'm going through. Mary says I did that. Then what? Question is, we have 8 numbers per poem. Just as an example, I'll open this one up. We have 8 numbers per poem. With this cut off at the top. Oh, there it goes. 1, 2, 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom, 2 on the left, 2 on the right. Do we count? Is each one of these a word? And do we count? Once we have these in order, just think of all 10 locations as one long string of text. It's like 450 to 460 words. Do we just count it? But the problem is, I think 466, which I just happened to open to, there's not enough words. I think 466 goes over the number of words we have.
How do you know that if you haven't plotted? That last Cheeseman one had a ton. So how do you know that?
Other people have, but I haven't tried it myself. And we are going to go through the exercise and do it. But other people have, and they've said, hey, so my first thought it would be you just wrap around to the beginning. But that's just a guess. Just a guess, guys. The biggest thing would be.
I don't like that.
What's that? You don't like that?
What if you kept the wording in here and the wording from the plaque together?
The wording of the poems and the actual text? Oh, that would be crazy.
You get to 400 then? This whole thing's stupid. We're counting up to 400.
Hang on a minute.
Yeah, I have to be muted because I can't. Because every time they announce something, people are booming and yelling. It's very intense. Okay, so it seems like everybody's gotten to this point. This treasure hunt cache says even if you ignore the word count issue, you just look at the bricks with low numbers, it doesn't work. So we're genuinely stuck. It sounds like at this point, and that's what Mike was saying. At this point of now, how do you apply 49 and the bricks, right? So would it be helpful for you guys if we put this in a PowerPoint and we actually started counting words and verifying? Or do we need to look at it differently? If we've already done it and we have it, we can, quickly look through that and then move on. Do we need a different?
We got some issues.
Okay. So it's, for the 1 hour we're on, there's always issues. Okay. So do you guys have any brainstorming questions and thoughts about? I don't know. Yes, that would help. Okay. So what Mike had asked me to do is to take these 10 locations, put a picture of it, and then type up in actual words, the words with like how many per Randy's instructions of how it works. That would be nice to verify word counts. Yeah. So if that's like the next step, we can do that, but then how do we apply it to 49? So we can put them up, word count them, and then how we apply them to 49 would be next. I'm willing to do that actually now, if Mike can get me all of that. But I can also go through this video and get started. But it sounds like a lot of you are already there, or at least 9 of them. But like Mike says, if one's in the middle and isn't countable, you can't do anything. So I think for Mike, at least, this is new, that we have all 10, we're ready to go, PowerPoint, and getting fired up. So honey, while you were away, I asked the group if it would be helpful, because it seems like everybody has the 10, and would it be helpful to put it in the PowerPoint and to count it out? And they basically said yes, just to get us all verified on the same page. And then what we do with it will be next. if we could come up with 466 words, that would be a huge confirmer. Yeah, I agree. How many words did you guys come up with these 10? These 10. What are you guys at? This ballpark number? Are we at 200, 300, 400, 420? What? 420. 420. I don't know.
Well, Mary says page 49 is just to put the brick text in order. So the brick pages could be put in order. But if you look, K-Pro, down here, there's another number in binary. And I don't know if that, or I don't remember the order of that, but that might, so we might have to put two things in order. We might have to put the bricks in a certain order, the brick numbers in a certain order, and the poems in a certain order. But see, that's just assuming that we're counting from the beginning.
But so right now, here's what I have in my mind that I'm doing this weekend. I am going to put in Fibonacci order the number that's on the top, right below the bricks, like right above the poem. That's the order, and then type up the words of the 10 locations. Correct? And then we can actually number them.
Say it one more time.
So in the order, of right above the poem is a number. Put that in Fibonacci order, 1 through 10, and then take the words that are on the plaque, not the words that are in the poem, put it on the plaque, put it in PowerPoint, and number them per Randy's rules. Correct?
Yes. Yeah. But the thing is, in the very beginning, like let's say there's 5 numbers under 100, that's got to form a message, right? You got to be able to read. If it's right, it should be a message in order, unless the message is in reverse, which I could see. Randy
and that, I think someone said, but if you just take the low numbers, it doesn't work.
That's
like not even going to 466. Yeah. But if we get all the words in one, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say 8 numbers per poem. I don't know if there's any way you could just use the individual numbers on the individual poems. That doesn't make any sense, right? Because it's too many texts, unless we're counting letters, but even then letters would be a lot. So yeah, Cheap Girl Jody says torture. All right. I suspect the binary and bricks are married as well. Yeah, somehow. How can we get the text from the plaques? You got to look them up, Mary. You got to look them up on Google Earth, but we're going to do that for you, which we just went through some of them, but we'll go through the rest and put them all in a PowerPoint.
Now, I thought you said there's 22. Why did we only go through 10?
So there's 10 poems that point to 10 locations. Then there's another puzzle page that gives you another 10 locations, which are GPS coordinates. And those are all sundials. That's another puzzle, which is a totally separate, I'm assuming, from this. Yeah, we don't know what to do with the sundials.
This is a lot like Xavier Marks. You're going to layers here.
Yeah, there's definitely layers. Some of the bricks.
And I have a few friends right now that are all getting to a location, going boots on the ground. I want to say good luck to you guys for Xavier.
Oh, for Xavier. Gotcha. They don't know. They don't know where it is. Some of the brick pages have just low numbers. Our assumed first brick page is all low numbers. I assumed we would put all the numbers in order. Does anybody else not? I thought we would. Well, that's a good point. If you were to get every word, let's say you have a string of 466 words, and you put every number, then how do you order the bricks in order to make it into a sentence? It doesn't mean it's in order, red decimal order. That could be another part of it. Once you pull out all the words, what is the order in order to read the message? That's another part of it. So, yeah, that's a good point. Well, guys, I think we're going to end it there. I got some things here I got to take care of. And K-Pro will get it in a PowerPoint, and I think together we might be able to figure this out. Treasure Hunt Cat says, try it. He hasn't tried it himself. I haven't tried it myself yet, and that's why I'm really getting into it. Now that all 10 locations are actually solved, we know. Now me and K-Pro are going to get into actually trying to count it out and make it work.
And if anybody already has it typed, send it to me. I will get it in the PowerPoint. I'll verify it as we go on the pictures. So I'll put the poem, the picture of the location, and then the words. But any extra help would be great. But if not, I'll do it all by hand. There's only 10 of them. I mean, that won't be horrific.
Well, It's a binary number as well. The binary numbers on the poems, I believe, correspond to the Fibonacci numbers. So they are, looks like they're Fibonacci. The binary appears to be in order. Right. So what does that mean? Does that mean the bricks are in order or the plaques are in order? That's, yeah. Larry says, but can you shorten 2 words using a comma if word count is important? Well, Randy put out a video. Let me find it. And he told us how to count. He told us the rules that he used when he counted this. Valentine Goose is the channel. You guys should go subscribe.
Something just happened on the drop. Everything's very exciting.
Okay. Well, it's been a hell of a day over here. Hang on. Let me find. What is a word? There it is. So I'm going to put in the chat, if you guys haven't seen it, this is a very important video, and that is that video right there. Randy tells us how to count it. He tells us what you do when there's a hyphen, when there's a abbreviation, when there's a middle name of a letter. He tells us how to count it. So now we just got to figure out the trick to count it out correctly. All right. And that's where it is, K-Pro. What do you think? You think we can figure it out?
Well, he made the one comment, like 1989-90. He's like, I think this only happens once. If it happens once in these plaques, then we pretty much know what we're talking about, right? The royal we. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you. Is there one that has every example that he's talking about?
Is there one what? You lost me.
So he talked about like 8 different ways, like punctuation, commas. The one that stuck in my mind is like 1989-990. And I don't remember if he counted it as 1 or 2, but he's like, you got to count it one way or another. Out of those 10 plaques, is there one that has some numbers with the dash in the middle of it?
That's what you're going to find out when you put them in the PowerPoint. I don't know. We have to go through each one of these and see for sure. I don't know off the top.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's going to wrap it up,
This
guys.
sounds fun.
What's that?
So fun typing up and counting to 500.
Yeah. Getting the message will be a lot of fun, and I don't think the message is going to, tell us where to go. I think it's just going to be another puzzle, to tell you the truth. But we'll see. You just never know. There's only one way to find out, and that's to solve it. So yes, we are counting words. We should be counting words. I would agree with that. How do we count the words? He made a video on how to count each individual one. So now I guess it's the order. Is what's left is the order, right? Or here's another idea.
The hyphenated years is on the plaque.
Yeah, the words are on the plaques, right? I think that's what you said. But here's another idea, guys. It's a crazy idea, but it just occurred to me. We have 10 numbers per poem. What if the 10 numbers that are on that poem is where you start counting? Huh? Has anybody tried that one? So you have a string, have a string of 460 words, but the 10 numbers that are on that particular poem, wherever it is in your list of 10 plaques, that's where you start counting on that particular plaque beginning. And then you would wrap around in that case. I don't know. It's just an idea. I'm just trying to think of why it's not as simple as.
I don't like it, but that big block of code, I don't like that. All the little codes you guys have found in there, what up? Freaking nuts.
Yeah, no, we had to mute there for a minute. The hyphenated years is on the Platte River plaque. Okay. Yeah, Treasure Hunt Cash says try it, and we will. Once we get these into a PowerPoint and we have it all listed. What is a program that if we have a text of 460 words, is there a program that will number those for us? I guess you can import a Word doc into Excel, maybe. Can you do Excel per word? And I'm just trying to figure out a program out that will count it out, and then we can just go and reference.
You know what? I can do one. So A1 will be the first one of the Fibonacci numbers, but then we can move them around as need be, and we'll be able to, based on the y-axis, whatever axis. Yeah, I think I have it.
Okay, that's it, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Remember, Monday, Forest Fen treasure found. I'm sure there'll be some new breaking news and a brand new PowerPoint. And then next Thursday, I don't know if we'll have this PowerPoint from K-Pros for the Beacon Star, the first ever Beacon Star PowerPoint. from K-Pro, I might add. I'm not sure if that'll be ready by next Thursday, but we'll do the best we can.
If you get it to me by tomorrow evening, the things that we talked about, I can get it done by Thursday. And I will say, guys, unless there is huge breaking news, I'm not going live again. There's some new court documents. There's some stuff that I think is pretty huge. Zoe's deposition was today, but I'm not going to go breaking news live with it. We've already done that a couple times. We're just going to lump it all together on Monday, and I'm kind of decompressing from the community right now. So I'll just I'll be on Facebook, I'll be on tour a little bit, but I'm not going to go most likely. But I reserve my right to.
And Mary Green points out there's 2 number 1s. What's up with that? Well, the Fibonacci numbers start with 1, 1. You add those together to 2, and then 2, 1 is 3. So you're right. We have to decide which of the 1, 1s is first. And that is something. You may have to do it both ways. This number 1 is first. That number 1 is first. Is there a way to tell? I don't know until we do a deep dive on it and see. Maybe the first order in the book, the first number 1. But we would have to look at that for sure. Yeah, thanks, Mike. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Beacon Star. It's not going to last 30 years. It's taken a while, but I think we can crack it before 30 years. Yeah, and Treasure Hunt Cat says he tried both. So we'll figure it out.
I got to get some Xavier Marks in. People are making huge progress. In my opinion, huge progress. Hillary, Sean, you guys be afraid. And I think there's been some big breakthroughs. Some people, again, are boots on the ground. I don't know if they should be or not yet, but I think we got layers on that one too.
What if Xavier Marks was in Denver? That just blow your mind. All right, everybody. No, I'm not saying it is. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Thumbs up, and maybe Valentine Goose will drop a video. You never know. Uh-oh, we got webcam girls or something in the chat. I'm going to have to block that person. Remove. And report. All right. There you go. And then what do we do? And then we say put user. Okay. All right, everybody. Thanks. We'll see you next time. Thanks.